Right now, there are 8 luxury SUVs sitting on used car lots, selling for less than a used Honda Civic that I have personally serviced at 200,000 miles without a single major repair. Not budget crossovers, not stripped-down base models. I am talking about vehicles that, when new, cost $45,000, $55,000, even $70,000, with leather seats, panoramic roofs, heated everything, sitting right now for under $10,000 because the average buyer walked right past them. I have been turning wrenches for over 2 decades. I have watched luxury SUVs roll in with 180,000 miles looking for their first serious repair, and I have watched brand new $40,000 crossovers fall apart at $60,000. The difference is never the price tag. It is never the badge. It is the engineering underneath, and whether the people who owned it before you actually bothered to maintain it. These 8 picks are what I would tell my own brother to buy if he had $10,000 and needed a luxury SUV. Some of them are obvious to anyone who has ever worked in a shop. Some of them will genuinely surprise you. And number one is the one every single luxury SUV buyer I talk to kicks themselves for not knowing about sooner. Let us count them down. Number 8, BMW X5 3.0i E53 generation from 2000 to 2006. Before you click off, hear me out. I know exactly what you are thinking. BMW under $10,000. That sounds like a trap. And you are right, if you buy the wrong one. The V8-powered X5 4.4i, the 4.6i's, the 4.8i's are expensive nightmares at high mileage. The cooling system on the M62 Vi8 will absolutely humiliate your wallet. But the 3.0i with the M54 inline 6 is a completely different story. The M54B30 is a cast iron blocked, naturally aspirated inline 6 that BMW put in everything from the 3 Series to the Z4 Roadster. No turbos to fail, no complex variable valve timing system that eats itself over time. It is mechanically one of the simplest and most durable engines BMW ever produced, and they bolted it to one of the best driving SUVs of its era. Here is what you can actually find right now. A 2002 to 2005 BMW X5 3.0i with 120,000 to 160,000 miles, priced from $4,500 to $7,500. Compare that to when these sold new, over $44,000 in today's money. That is 85% depreciation on a vehicle that, with the right maintenance, will run another 100,000 miles without breaking a sweat. What to watch for? The cooling system is the known weakness. The plastic coolant reservoir, the expansion tank, the thermostat housing, all plastic, all degraded by now on any example. Budget $400 to $700 to replace the entire cooling system when you buy it. Not if it fails. When you buy it. Proactively. That is the price of admission on every E53 X5. Also, listen for a Van OS rattle on cold startup. A small tick that disappears in seconds is normal. A loud rattle that continues means Van OS seals need replacing, about $300 in parts. And check the rear differential for weeping seals. Address those items up front, and you have a legitimate German luxury SUV with handling and steering feel unlike anything else at this price point. Nobody will believe you paid $6,000 for it. Number 7, Lincoln Navigator, 2003 to 2006. If you want the most sheer luxury for your money, under $10,000, nothing, and I mean nothing, touches the first and second generation Lincoln Navigator. Full leather, genuine wood trim, power adjustable everything, real third row seating, towing capacity up to 9,000 pounds, and you can find these for $4,500 to $8,500 right now. The Navigator shares its platform with the Ford Expedition, which means parts are cheap and mechanics know this vehicle cold. The 5.4-liter Triton 5e8 makes 300 horsepower, and the same engine spent years under the hood of the Ford F-150. This is not exotic engineering. It is truck-grade durability wrapped in a full-size luxury body. Two things to know before you buy. First, the AIR suspension. Many early Navigators came standard with air ride, and by now every single one of those airbags is living on borrowed time. When they fail, and they will, you have two options. Rebuild the air system for $1,200 to $1,800, or convert to a static coil spring setup for about $400 in parts. I recommend the conversion every single time. Simpler, cheaper, done forever. When you are inspecting one, if it is sitting level after sitting overnight, great. If it is sagging on one corner, the air suspension is already failing. Price that in when you negotiate. Second, the 5.4-liter 3-valve engine from this era had a known spark plug blowout issue. The plugs were only threaded into 2 threads of the aluminum head, and if they were neglected too long, removal became an expensive problem. If the maintenance records show the plugs were changed regularly, you are completely fine. No records? Get a pre-purchase inspection specifically covering that. Outside those two items, the Navigator is remarkable value. A 2004 Navigator Ultimate, with every option checked, sold for over $52,000 new. Today you can find similar trucks for $6,500 with 130,000 miles. The interior still puts modern $35,000 crossovers to shame. Number 6. Volvo XC90, first generation, from 2003 to 2014, safety champion. No SUV on this list has saved more lives for less money. That is not marketing language, that is physics. The first generation XC90 has one of the highest roof strength ratings of any vehicle built in its era. It had standard side curtain airbags from day one in 2003, when most competitors still listed them as paid options. It earned an EIHS Top Safety Pick designation year after year. If your family rides in it, this might be the single most important purchasing decision you make, and you can get into one right now for $3,500 to $8,000. The T6 variant, turbocharged 2.9-liter inline-six, 268 horsepower, all-wheel drive through a Haldex coupling system, is the one I recommend most. The T5 with the 2.5-liter turbocharged 5-cylinder is equally reliable and often slightly cheaper to maintain. What to watch? The 2003 to 2004 models had electronic throttle module issues that could cause unexpected stalling. Volvo issued a recall, and most have been resolved by now, but verify it on any early example. Check transmission fluid condition. The ASIN unit these use is solid, but dark fluid tells you how the previous owner felt about maintenance intervals. On high-mileage examples, inspect carefully for any white smoke at idle or milky residue under the oil cap. Deferred coolant changes on some variants can lead to head gasket weeping at 150,000 miles, a $1,200 to $1,800 repair if it gets there, but completely avoidable with proper maintenance history. Here is what most people do not know. Parts on this generation XC90 are not expensive. Volvo used significant amounts of Ford parts bin components during this era, which makes independent repairs surprisingly affordable. For families who prioritize safety above everything else, there is no better option at this price range. Full stop. Number 5. Cadillac Escalade, GMT 800, 2002 to 2006. There is exactly one reason the first and second generation Escalade is available for under $10,000 right now. 2 words: fuel economy. These things return 12 miles per gallon in city driving on a good day. That is the entire reason they depreciated to the floor while everything else held value. But if you can stomach the gas bill, you are getting one of the most iconic American luxury SUVs ever built, powered by one of the most reliable engines in automotive history for the price of a used compact economy car. Under the hood is either the 5.3-liter or 6.0-liter LS-based V8. The LS engine family is not just reliable, it is legendary. These engines routinely cross 300,000 miles with nothing but oil changes and spark plugs. I have personally worked on GMT 800 Escalade powertrains at 260,000 miles that were still running clean and strong. The transmission is the 4L60E or 4L65E, and it is equally proven. Rebuild kits are cheap because every mechanic in America has done one. It is a known quantity in the best possible sense. What to inspect? Air suspension, if equipped. Same story as the Navigator, same advice. Convert it to coils and move on. Check door lock actuators, a $40 part that fails commonly on these. And if you are buying from the Rust Belt, inspect the frame and subframe underneath carefully. The GMT 800 platform can corrode aggressively in states that salt their roads. The engine and transmission do not lose sleep. The people who engineered the LS V8 had no interest in cutting corners, and it shows 220,000 miles later. A 2004 Escalade EXT with 140,000 miles for $7,500 is not a gamble. It is an opportunity hiding behind a 12 miles per gallon sticker. The Infiniti QX56 is a full-size luxury SUV that almost nobody talks about, riding on the same platform as the Nissan Armada and Titan, powered by the VK56DE 5.6-liter V8, a truck engine Nissan spent a decade torturing before they put it in the QX56 and called it a luxury vehicle. This toughness is rugged. 325 horsepower, 393 pound-feet of torque. Interior space large enough that the third row is actually usable for adults, and you can find these right now for $5,000 to $9,500. Serious value. The VK56DE is not glamorous. It does not have variable compression ratios or twin turbos or any of the clever technology that makes modern engines both exciting and fragile. It has a cast iron block, a truck motor proven in work applications across 2 decades. I have never personally seen one grenade. Not once. Proven. The Eisen-built 5-speed automatic behind it shares architecture with Toyota transmissions of the same era. It is simple, proven, and strong. What to watch for? The 2004 and early 2005 models had timing chain tensioner issues that could produce a rattle at cold startup. By 2006, Nissan revised the design, and this problem essentially disappears. If you are looking at an early example, start it cold and listen. Any metallic rattle means the tensioners need attention, about $800 to address. After 2006, move on. Also check the rear air suspension, same story as every other luxury truck on this list. Here is what gets me about the QX56. These things, sold new for $55,000 to $65,000 when fully loaded. Second row captain's chairs with heating, cooling, and massage functions. You can find one for $7,000 with 130,000 miles. The depreciation curve on these makes no logical sense, and that is entirely your advantage. Number 3, Acura MDX, first generation, 2004 to 2006. The first generation Acura MDX is one of the best-kept secrets in the used luxury SUV market. Ask any Honda or Acura mechanic, and they will tell you the same thing I am telling you right now. This vehicle is essentially unkillable if you buy the right year. The J35 A5 3.5-liter V6 inside the 2004 to 2006 MDX is part of Honda's J Series, the same engine family that powers the Odyssey minivan and the Pilot. It has VTEC, it is naturally aspirated, no turbos, and no dual clutch complications. It uses a timing belt, not a chain, but Honda's timing belt service at 105,000 miles is so thoroughly documented and so routinely performed that a properly maintained example is a complete non-issue. Now, the 2001 to 2003 models had a known transmission problem. Honda actually extended the warranty and issued multiple software updates. The 2004 to 2006 models resolved this completely. Buy 2004 or newer. That is non-negotiable. Current pricing, a 2004 to 2006 Acura MDX with 130,000 to 160,000 miles runs $5,500 to $9,000. Original MSRP was $37,000 to $43,000. That is a luxury SUV from a brand that routinely finishes at the top of long-term reliability studies at less than a quarter of its original price. What to inspect? Check for timing belt service records first. If there are no records and the mileage is over 105,000, price in the belt kit plus water pump, about $650 for parts and labor at a good independent shop. Test the all-wheel drive system in a parking lot. Make tight circles at low speed. Any binding, grinding, or hesitation means the rear differential needs attention. Look for a complete service folder. The MDX was marketed to upper-middle-class families who tended to maintain their vehicles. Those service records exist. Go find one that has them. Number 2, Infiniti FX35 and FX45 from 2003 to 2008. The Infiniti FX was designed to look like a supercar and drive like one. It was Infiniti's attempt to build a luxury sports SUV before that category really existed, and it was so aggressively styled that half the market never quite knew what to make of it. That confusion drove the depreciation through the floor, and that is entirely your gain right now. The FX35 uses Nissan's VQ35DE 3.5-liter V6. Ward's Automotive named this engine to their 10 best engines list multiple years running. It is in the 350Z. It is in the G35. It is in half of Nissan's most beloved vehicles from this era, and every mechanic in the country knows exactly how to work on it. Reliable, smooth, and tuned well below its mechanical limits in the FX application, meaning it has enormous headroom before anything wears out. The FX45 uses VK45DE, 4.5-liter V8. More power, same reliability DNA, and slightly thirstier on fuel. A 2004 to 2007 FX35 with 120,000 to 150,000 miles can be found for $4,500 to $8,000. These sold new for $38,000 to $48,000. The price gap makes almost no mechanical sense when you look at what the engine actually is. What to watch? Check transmission fluid condition. Dark or burnt fluid means the maintenance was skipped and the transmission is working harder than it should. Fresh red fluid is what you want. Check the rear differential for leaks. The Torsen-based all-wheel drive system is mechanically robust, but the differential fluid needs to be changed every 30,000 miles, and most previous owners never opened the manual to find that out. And honestly, just drive it. The FX35 handles like a sports car wearing an SUV costume. If you put a different badge on it and charge $30,000, people would write magazine articles about how special it is. It is sitting at $6,500 because it says Infiniti, and it was built 17 years ago. That is the only reason. Number 1. Lexus RX 330 and RX 350 from 2004 to 2009. This is the one. And I want to be completely clear about why. The Lexus RX is not just the best luxury SUV under $10,000, it is statistically one of the most reliable vehicles ever mass-produced. Not in its class, not in its era. Among all vehicles, across all brands, in the history of modern automotive reliability data. The second-generation RX, the 330 from 2004 to 2006, and the 350 from 2007 to 2009 is built on Toyota's Camry-based platform. You are getting passenger car-level refinement with Toyota's proven midsize running gear. The 3.3-liter 3MZ FE in the RX 330 and the 3.5-liter 2GR FE in the RX 350 are timing chain engines. No belt, no turbos, no cylinder deactivation, naturally aspirated, conservatively tuned, and engineered so far past their power output that running them to 250,000 miles is not an achievement. It is simply what happens when you maintain them. Let me tell you about a vehicle I worked on 2 years ago. A 2005 RX 330 rolled in with 214,000 miles on the odometer. Original owner bought it new, wanted to know what it needed. I put it on the lift and did a complete inspection. Suspension, brakes, undercarriage, pulled codes, checked every fluid, put a scope in the cylinders. You know what I found? Brakes at 40%, tires with about 15,000 miles left. Coolant was due for a flush. That was it, 214,000 miles. The biggest maintenance item was a $180 coolant flush. I have seen 5-year-old crossovers in significantly worse shape than that vehicle. Here is the pricing reality. A 2004 to 2006 RX 330 with 140,000 to 170,000 miles runs $7,000 to $10,000. A same-year BMW X5 with similar miles starts at $4,500, and there is a specific reason it is cheaper. A same-year Mercedes ML is at $5,000, and there is a specific reason for that too. The Lexus holds its value even in the deep used market because people who actually know cars understand exactly what it is. Here is my inspection checklist for the RX. First, check for VSC and traction control warning lights. High mileage examples can develop ABS wheel speed sensor issues from road debris. Each sensor is about $80 and easy to replace, but negotiated in. Second, check the driver's side seat heating element. It fails on worn examples and costs about $200 to address. Third, and this is the important one, check the transmission fluid condition. The Lexus 5-speed automatic is extraordinarily durable, but dark or burnt fluid means critical maintenance was skipped. Fresh, clear, red fluid is your green light. RepairPal ranks the Lexus RX consistently among the top vehicles in owner satisfaction for the luxury SUV segment. Annual maintenance costs average around $550, lower than the average for basic compact SUVs, let alone luxury vehicles. That number is real. I see it borne out in my shop constantly. Who should buy it? Anyone who wants a luxury vehicle they can drive without anxiety for the next 100,000 miles. Anyone who wants Lexus quality without the Lexus price. Anyone who wants to look like they spent $35,000 while writing a $9,000 check. Who should skip it? If you need 3 rows, the standard RX is a 2-row SUV. Step up to the GX for that. If you need to tow more than 3,500 pounds, this platform is not engineered for it. And if you are buying purely for visual status, the badge does not have the street-level flash of the German competition. It just quietly outlasts all of them. I have put more customers into this vehicle than any other single recommendation in my career. I have had exactly 2 come back with major repairs. Both were vehicles that were clearly neglected before purchase, and both owners skipped the pre-purchase inspection I told them to get. Every single RX I have seen purchased with a clean pre-purchase inspection has delivered exactly what I said it would. That is my number 1. And it is not close. There they are. 8 luxury SUVs that the market priced wrong and your bank account can benefit from right now. The BMW X5 3.0i is for the driver who wants German engineering and driving feel on a real-world budget. The Lincoln Navigator delivers maximum American luxury per dollar. The Volvo XC90 is for the family that puts safety above everything else. The Cadillac Escalade offers LS engine reliability and luxury clothing. The Infiniti QX56 brings truck capability wrapped in a $60,000 interior. The Acura MDX gives Honda reliability wearing an Acura badge. The Infiniti FX35 is for the enthusiast who wants a sports car in SUV form. And the Lexus RX is the one I will recommend to anyone in any situation without hesitation. Every single one of these is available for under $10,000. Every single one of them will outlast the $28,000 crossovers on the lot right next to them if you buy the right year, check the right things, and do not skip the pre-purchase inspection. The used car market is full of expensive mistakes hiding as good deals, and genuinely great vehicles hiding behind age and unfamiliar badges. Now you know the difference. If this helped, hit subscribe. More straight talk on what to buy, what to avoid, and what dealerships hope you never figure out. Drive safe, take care of your car, and it will take care of you. See you in the next one.